No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Just moments ago, the sports world was shaken to its core. Caitlin Clark, the brightest star in the WNBA and the player millions tune in to see, has reportedly decided to step away from the league. Yes, you read that right. After enduring months of relentless fouls, questionable officiating and mounting pressure, Clark seems to have reached her breaking point. But what exactly pushed her to this extreme? And what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? Take a seat. This story is far more intense, emotional, and shocking than most realize. The instant Caitlin Clark halted mid-game, clutching her groin in visible agony, everything changed. The arena, once buzzing with excitement, fell into a tense, uneasy silence. Fans held their breath. Teammates froze. Coaches exchanged concerned glances. This wasn't a routine injury, something athletes often push through. No, this was different. It was a profound emotional moment, exposing years of hidden pain, struggle, and exhaustion that Caitlin had quietly carried alone. Known for her fearless persona, Caitlin always seemed unstoppable, sprinting at full speed, pushing limits and never showing weakness. Her toughness inspired both fans and teammates. Yet in that moment, as she took slow, agonized steps, her unbreakable image faltered. For the first time in her career, Caitlin broke down on the hardwood, tears streaming down her face. These tears reflected more than physical pain. They revealed the mental and emotional burden she had carried for far too long. Behind the cheers and bright lights, she had been waging a silent battle. Injuries piling up, the pressure to perform perfectly, endless expectations, and the sheer exhaustion of competing at the top level. All of it culminated in this moment, impossible to hide. The heartbreak wasn't hers alone. It rippled through everyone watching. Fans who had admired her were gripped by empathy and concern. Her teammates, who had seen her endure pain before, now realized the true cost. The entire league paused, recognizing this was more than a game or a typical injury. It was a raw, honest look at the toll of being a star athlete. That moment sparked conversations about athlete care, injury treatment, and the mental pressures players face behind the scenes. Caitlin's breakdown was a reminder. Beneath the highlights and headlines, athletes are human. They feel pain, doubt, and sometimes reach a breaking point. Her tears were not weakness. They were a call for understanding and change. In the end, Caitlin Clark's emotional moment was more than an injury. It was a wake-up call to fans, teams, and the sport itself. True strength means knowing when to pause and heal. This moment could inspire a future where athletes are protected both physically and emotionally. Could this injury have been prevented? Let's explore how rush decisions and neglect placed Caitlin Clark's career at risk. Caitlin Clark's injury didn't appear out of nowhere. It was the result of months of mismanagement, pressure, and insufficient care. From the very start, things went wrong when she returned too quickly after a preseason quad injury. Rather than giving her adequate time to recover, the team rushed her back onto the court. It was clear that the coaches and front office prioritized hype and ticket sales over ensuring their star player was fully ready. Instead of safeguarding Caitlin, the heart and soul of the team, the staff pushed her to keep playing, even when she wasn't 100% fit. Injuries were treated like bad headlines to be managed or hidden, not as serious medical conditions demanding rest and treatment. This approach turned her body into a ticking time bomb, constantly at risk. The schedule was grueling, games back-to-back, barely any time to recover. On top of that, inconsistent rotations prevented Caitlin from finding rhythm or staying loose. Rather than carefully managing her playing time, she was shuffled unpredictably, leaving her vulnerable to further injury. Constant travel compounded the issue. Flights, changing time zones, and missed rest all added up. The relentless cycle drained her both physically and mentally. Together, these factors reveal a dangerous pattern of neglect. The Fever's approach hasn't just hindered Caitlin's season. It's jeopardizing her entire career and long-term health. Even worse, this was entirely avoidable. Proper rest, thoughtful medical care, and a well-planned schedule could have prevented much of this damage. Instead, the team's focus on short-term excitement and immediate wins blinded them to the players' well-being. Caitlin Clark's struggle is a stark reminder that no amount of hype or quick comebacks can replace careful, patient care. If the Fever want to preserve their star, they must change course before it's too late. This injury wasn't accidental. It was the culmination of months of neglect, pressure, and poor decisions. But was mismanagement the only problem? Caitlin has also been forced to endure brutal defenses, inconsistent officiating, and aggressive physical play. Every game brings a battle that fans rarely see. Opponents push, shove, and sometimes cross the line, while referees frequently overlook fouls. Caitlin must fight on multiple fronts. Through physical pain and systemic unfairness, tensions reached a breaking point during a recent match, when repeated holds, shoves, and blocks went uncalled. Frustration boiled over, and she snapped at a referee, demanding accountability. Though shocking to some, those who understand the pressure recognize it as a moment of truth. Her outburst revealed the anger, frustration, and helplessness she's endured all season. Caitlin's words were a demand for respect, a call for the league to uphold fairness and safety. This isn't just about one player. It exposes broader issues in women's basketball and highlights the need for better protection and oversight. Until systemic changes are made, Caitlin's fight continues, not only for victories on the court, but for the respect and care every athlete deserves. Caitlin Clark faces unrelenting hits, inconsistent calls, and constant pressure. Mismanagement and confusion have pushed the league's brightest star dangerously close to her breaking point. Despite everything, Caitlin gives her absolute best every time she steps onto the court. She drives the Indiana Fever's offense, serves as the team's heartbeat, racks up points, distributes assists, and leads with skill and determination. Yet beneath her relentless performance lies a troubling reality. Her playing time is inconsistent, sometimes just minutes on the court, followed by long breaks, then suddenly back in. This stop-and-go rhythm makes it nearly impossible for her to find a steady pace, critical for any athlete, especially one nursing injuries. The constant shifts are frustrating and physically harmful. Her body, already strained, has little chance to warm up or recover, worsening injuries and draining confidence. Coaching decisions have added to the chaos. Instead of carefully managing her health, moves seem rushed or random, leaving Caitlin exposed to further harm. The contrast between her superstar status and treatment is glaring. Fans expect their star to be supported, monitored, and protected for long-term success. Instead, Caitlin feels like a tool to be used, not a player to be cared for. Mismanagement risks not only her current season but her entire career. Weeks pass and the question remains: how much more can her body and spirit endure before she breaks completely? How long before exhaustion forces her to step back? Or worse, leave the game she loves? Caitlin's story is about more than talent. It's about respect, proper care, and understanding in sports. Even the strongest athletes have limits, and those must be honored. Teams that fail to protect stars risk losing them forever, and the loss goes far beyond scores. Caitlin Clark is seen as a once-in-a-generation talent in women's basketball. Experts hail her as one of the greatest female college players ever. Her incredible shooting ability, unmatched range, and precise passing make her a true trailblazer. Many compare her influence to Stephen Curry's impact on men's basketball, redefining what constitutes a good shot. 4. A Wall Street Journal columnist, Jason Gay, noted that while many great shooters exist in women's basketball, Clark stands out for her distance and exceptional passing. She's reshaping the game, adding new layers and redefining style. Clark's impact extends beyond personal talent. She's driving unprecedented popularity for women's basketball, known as the Caitlin Clark effect. Since her Iowa college days, she has drawn massive crowds and captured nationwide attention. During her senior season, reports credited her with surging attendance and record-breaking TV viewership. In 2023, as a junior, she helped make the national championship the most-watched women's college basketball game ever, nearly 10 million viewers tuning in. Before her senior season even began, Iowa shattered attendance records for a women's preseason exhibition, attracting 55,646 fans. Ticket sales for the 2023 to 2024 season sold out completely, generating over $3.2 million, an all-time record for women's college basketball. Clark's popularity soared further during the 2024 QUIT tournament, with each of the team's final 3 games setting new viewership records. The championship game drew 18.9 million viewers, surpassing men's finals for the first time, a milestone showcasing her influence. Her impact continued in the WNBA. In her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, she boosted league popularity, breaking franchise attendance records. Whenever Caitlin takes the court, arenas fill and the atmosphere electrifies. She's transforming women's basketball. But imagine if she quit at her peak. Protecting Caitlin Clark is vital for the WNBA's future. The Fever's recent win may appear celebratory, but the reality is grim. They are losing their brightest star. This isn't bad luck or random injury. It's the result of careless decisions and short-sighted thinking. By pushing her too hard, the team risks Caitlin's long-term health and the franchise's future. The image of her limping off the court, tears streaming down her face, is unforgettable. It wasn't just physical pain, it was an urgent alarm. This moment is a wake-up call for the Fever, the league and fans alike. The question is urgent. What matters more, short-term wins or protecting the player who makes them possible? Caitlin Clark deserves full rest, honest care and recognition of her limits. The team and league must acknowledge the truth, rebuild trust, and ensure players are valued as humans, not just athletes. If this path continues, the question is not if, but when Caitlin Clark will leave the Fever, and losing her would devastate Indiana and women's basketball. This moment demands reflection and action. Prioritize long-term health over short-term hype. Listen to the signals Caitlin's body and spirit are sending. Only then can the Fever hope to keep their brightest star shining and build a future where athletes are protected, respected, and celebrated for both talent and humanity.